This is part 2 for The Fly, where we'll be covering the text-dependent and discussion questions. If you are someone who would like to do this on EdSite, the code for The Fly is ZZF4V. Okay, so the text-dependent questions for this one are a little bit longer. There are 10, so it might take you longer on this one. There are several that ask you to pick 2 questions. For example, question 1, part A, what are 2 major themes in The Fly? A. Sometimes people grieve and process death in peculiar ways. B. Life is short and it is important to remain hopeful when times are tough. C. Adults can be cruel and inhumane towards animals and other living things. D. It is important to carry on even when all hope seems lost. E. People are driven by the need to feel powerful and in control. F. Small acts of kindness can go a long way in mending a broken heart. You need to read beyond what is literally happening in the story to find the theme. Don't think about what's literally happening. Also, if you need to know what inhumane or peculiar is, you need to Google that, okay? Use your resources that you have. Question 2, part B. Which 2 details from the passage best supports the answer to part A? A. So there sat old Woodfield, smoking a cigar and staring almost greedily at the boss. Paragraph 1. B. Poor old chap. He's on his last pins, thought the boss, and, feeling kindly, he winked at the old man, and said jokingly, I tell you what, I've got a little drop of something here that'll do you good. Paragraph 10. C. Although over 6 years had passed away, the boss never thought of the boy except as lying unchanged, unblemished in his uniform, asleep forever. Paragraph 26. D. Over and under, went a leg along a wing as a stone goes over and under the scythe. E. There was something timid and weak about its efforts now, and the boss decided that this time should be the last, as he dipped the pen deep into the ink pot. Paragraph 32. F. And while the old dog padded away, he fell to wondering what it was he had been thinking about before. Paragraph 36. Question 3, part A. How does the line, we cling to our last pleasures as the tree clings to its last leaves, in paragraph 1, impact the message of the story? Again, we've talked about this in previous videos, but I'm going to say it again. If the question refers back to a specific paragraph or line, I recommend pausing the video, going back and reading paragraph 1, and then returning. Answers for question 3. A. It is a reference to the boss and how deeply he mourns his son. B. It is a reference to alcohol and people use it to cope. C. It is a reference to life and the way people hold on to it. D. It is a reference to greed and how it could lead to a man's downfall. Question 4, part B. Which detail from the text best supports the answer for part A? A. I've got a little drop of something here that'll do you good before you go out into the cold again. Paragraph 7. B. And it's all as neat as a garden, flowers growing on all the graves, nice broad paths. Paragraph 19. C. The horrible danger was over, it had escaped, it was ready for life again. Paragraph 30. D. All the same, there was something timid and weak about its efforts now, and the boss decided that this time should be the last. Paragraph 32. Question 5, part A. How does Mr. Woodfield's diction contribute to the reader's understanding of his character? Diction is like word choice. Okay, so why does he use certain words when he could use simpler ones maybe? A. He seems poor and uneducated. B. He seems pleasant and sympathetic. D. He seems distant and harsh. D. He seems flaky and distracted. Again, if you do not know what any of those words mean, you need to Google them. Do not try and guess. 6. Part B. Which of the following quotations best supports the answer to part A? A. It's snug in here, upon my word. Paragraph 2. B. Now what was it? I had it in my mind when I started out this morning. Paragraph 6. C. The girls were in Belgium last week having a look at poor Reggie's grave, and they happened to come across your boys. Paragraph 15. D. It's all as neat as a garden, flowers growing on all the graves, nice broad paths. Paragraph 19. Question 7. What is the significance of the character being referred to only as the boss? For this one, you do not have to include an in-text citation, but if you are someone who likes that pattern and you have a good idea of how it is used later in the text and you want to include that, that's perfectly fine. Question 8. How does the parallel structure of the sentence, he wanted, he intended, he had arranged to weep, affect its meaning? So the parallel structure of the sentence, look at this repetition. He wanted, he intended, he had arranged. That pattern of he with a verb. So he wanted, he intended, he had arranged. How does that affect its meaning? A, it shows that the boss plans everything out. B, it illustrates the boss's desire to cry despite his struggle to. C, it reflects the boss's growing anger. D, it supports the idea that the boss has no emotions. Number 9, how do Mr. Woodfield and the boss mourn their son's deaths differently? This one you do need to include textual evidence. Go back to the story. You're probably going to look at pages 3 to 4 for a good example to use for in-text citation. Question 10. What does the boss's treatment of the fly demonstrate about his character? A. Still dealing with the crippling death of his son, the boss's toying with the fly's life suggests that he has a strong desire to end his own life. B. Faced with a sense of powerlessness over his son's death, he is compelled to exert his power on the innocent fly and watch it struggle to survive. C. He does not appreciate the fly's struggle to live, demonstrating that he believes his son was weak by submitting to an early death. D. He is cruel to the innocent and vulnerable to the fly, revealing that the boss was a merciless father to his son and his family. Okay, those end the text-dependent questions. There are 4 listed discussion questions, but remember, you only have to do 2 of them. Okay, so pick 2 to answer. Number 1, why do you think the boss never went to see his son's grave? 2, is this a story about death, power, and powerlessness, or both? Explain your answer. 3, it has been said that the people who have been bullied tend to become bullies to others. How is this related to the fly? 4, what is the relationship between feelings of victimization, control, and power? Support your answer with evidence from your own experiences, the text, and other works of art or literature. Again, the code for this is here. If you have any questions, email me or reach out to me at my Google Voice number. Good luck. Let me know if you have questions.